St. Peter is a city located in Nicollet County, Minnesota, United States. The population was 11,196 at the 2010 census. It is the county seat of Nicollet County. U.S. Highway 169 and Minnesota State Highways 22 and 99 are three of the main routes in the city. St. Peter is located 10 miles north of the North Mankato metropolitan area. Sister city, Petitlan, Guerrero, Mexico. Geography. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 5.77 square miles, of which 5.59 square miles is land and 0.18 square miles is water. Demographics. 2010 census. As of the census of 2010, there were 11,196 people, 3,491 households, and 2,150 families residing in the city. The population density was 2,002.9 inhabitants per square mile. There were 3,697 housing units at an average density of 661.4 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 90.1% white, 3.3% African American, 0.6% Native American, 1.6% Asian, 2.3% from other races, and 2.0% from two or more races. Hispanic Latino of any race were 6.4% of the population. There were 3,491 households, of which 32.1% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 46.2% were married couples living together. 11.8% had a female householder with no husband present. 3.6% had a male householder with no wife present, and 38.4% were non-families. 29.9% of all households were made up of individuals, and 12.3% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.44 and the average family size was 2.99. The median age in the city was 27.5 years. 19.4% of residents were under the age of 18, 27.1% were between the ages of 18 and 24, 22% were from 25 to 44, 19.9% were from 45 to 64, and 11.6% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the city was 49.5% male and 50.5% female. 2000 census. As of the census of 2000, there were 9,747 people, 2,978 households, and 1,843 families residing in the city. The population density was 1,797.3 people per square mile. There were 3,129 housing units at an average density of 577.0 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 94.17% white, 1.57% African American, 0.43% Native American, 1.53% Asian, 0.03% Pacific Islander, 1.25% from other races, and 1.02% from two or more races. Hispanic Latino of any race were 3.04% of the population. There were 2,978 households, out of which 32.0% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 48.7% were married couples living together. 9.8% had a female householder with no husband present, and 38.1% were non-families. families. 28.7% of all households were made up of individuals, and 12.8% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.46 and the average family size was 2.99. In the city, the population was spread out, with 19.8% under the age of 18, 30.6% from 18 to 24, 21.3% from 25 to 44, 16.5% from 45 to 64, and 11.8% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 25 years. For every 100 females there were 96.7 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 93.2 males. The median income for a household in the city was $40,344, and the median income for a family was $51,157. Males had a median income of $33,618 versus $25,789 for females. The per capita income for the city was $16,634. About 4.2% of families and 11.8% of the population were below the poverty line, including 7.3% of those under age 18 and 10.9% of those age 65 or over. History. St. Peter was founded in 1853 by Captain William Bigelow Dodd, who claimed 150 acres north of what is now Broadway Avenue. He named the new settlement Rock Bend because of the rock formation at the bend of the Minnesota River. The town's site was platted and surveyed in 1854 by Daniel L. Turpin. In 1855, a group of St. Paul businessmen interested in promoting the town formed the St. Peter Company, and the town was renamed St. Peter. The president of the company was Willis A. Gorman, territorial governor of Minnesota. Many of the streets in St. Peter were named after streets in New York City: Park Row, Chatham, Broadway, Nassau, and Union. For example, Captain Dodd was originally from Bloomfield, New Jersey. His second wife, Harriet Newell Jones, a native of Cabot, Vermont, was living in New York at the time of the marriage at the Church of the Holy Communion in New York City, that helped fund the church in St. Peter, which shares the same name. In 1857, an attempt was made to move the territory of Minnesota's capital from St. Paul to St. Peter. Gov. Gorman owned the land on which the bill's sponsors wanted to build the new Capitol building, and at one point had been heard saying, "If the Capitol remains in St. Paul, the territory is worth millions, and I have nothing." At the time, St. Peter, a city in the central region of the territory, was seen as more accessible to the far-flung territorial legislators than St. Paul, which was in the extreme eastern portion of the territory, on the east bank of the Mississippi River. A bill was passed in both houses of the territorial legislature and was awaiting Governor Gorman's signature. The chairman of the Territorial Council's Enrolled Bills Committee, Joseph J. Rowlett of Pembina, took the bill and hid in a St. Paul hotel, drinking and playing cards with some friends as the city police looked fruitlessly for him until the end of the legislative session, too late for the bill to be signed. Rowlett came into the chamber just as the session ended. One might say that the bill was an attempt to rob Paul to pay Peter. Today, St. Paul is the second largest city in the state, while St. Peter is a relatively small rural town. In 1851, the Treaty of Traverse des Sioux was signed between the Sioux and the U.S. government just 1 mile north of St. Peter. The Nicollet County Historical Society Treaty Site History Center is located near the site of the treaty signing. However, the promises of the treaty were not kept. The Dakota became angered and the Dakota War of 1862 began in Cottonwood County. In August 1862, the Dakota attacked the German settlement of New Ulm. A company of volunteers from St. Peter, headed by Captain William B. Dodd, St.Peter's founder, went to the defense of New Ulm. Captain Dodd was killed on August 23, 1862, and was briefly buried in New Ulm. On November 11, 1862, Captain Dodd was buried with high military honors in St. Peter on the grounds of the Church of the Holy Communion, Episcopal, on land he donated to the church. Captain Dodd, his wife Harriet and 2 children are buried behind the present stone church built in 1869-70 at 118 North Minnesota Avenue. In 1866, the legislature established the first Minnesota Asylum for the Insane in St. Peter. It was later known as the St. Peter State Hospital, and is now called the St. Peter Regional Treatment Center. On July 1, 1892, the Sontag brothers, John Sontag and George Contant, and a partner, Chris Evans, tried to rob a train between St. Peter and Casota along the Minnesota River. The bandits acquired nothing of value during this hold-up, but their activities came under the review of Pinkerton detectives, and both were apprehended in June 1893 in what is called the Battle of Stone Corral in California. Governors. St. Peter is known as the home of 5 governors: Territorial Willis Arnold Gorman, State Henry Adoniram Swift, Horace Ost and Andrew Ryan McGill. John Albert Johnson. The most well-known of these 5 governors, John Albert Johnson, was born in St. Peter to Swedish-born parents on July 28, 1861. Because of family circumstances, he offered to help his mother raise the family. He left school at a young age and held a variety of jobs. In 1887, he was hired as editor of the St. Peter Herald, the local newspaper. In 1899, he was elected to the state senate and served until 1903. In 1904, he was elected as Minnesota's 16th governor. He was re-elected in 1906 and 1908. In 1912, he was being considered as a possible candidate for President of the United States, but died as the result of an operation for intestinal adhesions in Rochester, Minnesota on September 21, 1909. Dr. William James Mayo and Dr. Charles Horace Mayo, who came from Lithua, 9 miles north of St. Peter and were friends of the governor, performed the operation. After lying in state in the Minnesota Capitol Rotunda, his body was taken to St. Peter for burial. The funeral, held at the Union Presbyterian Church, was the largest ever in St. Peter, and he was buried near his parents in Green Hill Cemetery. He was survived by his wife, Eleanor Nora Preston Johnson. Mayor's tornado. On March 29, 1998, a tornado struck St. Peter, killing 8-year-old Dustin Schneider, injuring dozens more, and damaging much of the town's housing, commercial and civic buildings. A total of 156 single-family houses and 51 apartment units were destroyed by the tornado. An additional 362 houses and apartments suffered serious damage, and 1,383 houses or apartments had minor damage. The town's 3 trailer parks were largely spared, with no mobile homes destroyed and just 2 seriously damaged. Major losses included the old Central School, St. Peter Arts and Heritage Center, St. Peter's Catholic Church, St. Peter Evangelical Lutheran Church, and Johnson Hall at Gustavus Adolphus College. Churches: Bethany Alliance Church, established in 1961, present church built in 1965. Calvary Baptist Church, established in 1963, present church built in 1977. Church of St. Peter established in 1856, present church built in 2001. Church of the Holy Communion established in 1854, present church built in 1869 to 1870. First Lutheran Church established in 1857, present church built in 1965. Good Samaritan United Methodist Church established in 2010. No church at present time. Jesus Assembly of God established in 1934, present church built in 1988. St. Peter's Evangelical Lutheran Church established in 1867, present church built in 1999. River of Life Lutheran Church established in 2013. Established by Our Saviour's Lutheran Church of Mankato, is affiliated with the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. Currently meets in former drugstore on Park Row and 3rd. Recently gifted former nursing home on Sunrise Drive and Traverse Road. Trinity Lutheran Church established in 1892. Present church built in 1988. Union Presbyterian Church established in 1869 as a result of the union of two congregations. The First Free Presbyterian Church of Traverse-Des Sioux established in 1853, and the First Presbyterian Church of St. Peter established in 1857. The present church was built in 1871. Education. St. Peter is the home of Gustavus Adolphus College, a Lutheran-affiliated private liberal arts college founded in 1862. The public high school is St. Peter High School. There are two parochial schools in St. Peter: John Ireland Catholic School, which is associated with the Church of St. Peter, and St. Peter Evangelical Lutheran School, which along with the church is associated with the Wisconsin Evangelical Lutheran Synod. Veritas Lux Preparatory School is a private non-denominational school founded in St. Peter on August 2, 2013. Classes are conducted at the Jesus Assembly of God Church on Sunrise Drive. The school's curriculum is based on the Trivium method, which is based on studying the classics, which was the method used early in the nation's history and successfully produced more scholarly people. The first class to graduate from St. Peter High School was the class of 1880. The first superintendent of St. Peter Public Schools was Andrew Ryan McGill, who served from 1865 to 1868. He served as Minnesota's 10th governor from 1887 to 1889. Scholarship America is based in St. Peter. Healthcare. Community health care is provided by St. Peter Community Hospital. In 2009, St. Peter Community Hospital was renamed River's Edge Hospital. The same year, the construction of a new clinic was begun adjoining the hospital. There is now the River's Edge Clinic and the St. Peter Community Clinic, which is part of the Mayo Health System. St. Peter is home to the Minnesota Security Hospital, where those declared by the state to be mentally ill and dangerous are committed. Benedictine Healthcare Center, formerly known as St. Peter Community Healthcare Center, is part of the River's Edge Hospital complex. Near the hospital, Pheasants Ridge is an assisted living facility which has a section for patients suffering from memory loss due to Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Other healthcare facilities in St. Peter include Grandview Good Samaritan Center on Sunrise Drive. River Valley Birth Center opened in St. Peter in the summer of 2014. This is the first freestanding birth center in the region. Crime. Infrastructure. Transportation. The following routes are located within the city of St. Peter. U.S. Highway 169. Minnesota State Highway 22. Minnesota State Highway 99. Notable people: Horace Austin, 6th Governor of Minnesota. Henry N. Benson, Minnesota Attorney General. Eugene St. Julian Cox, Mayor of St. Peter, State Legislator, District Court Judge. Olive Fremstad, opera singer at Metropolitan Opera. Willis Arnold Gorman, 2nd Governor of the Minnesota Territory. Camilla Hall, Symbionese Liberation Army member. Gideon S. Ives, Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, Mayor of St. Peter. John Albert Johnson, 16th Governor of Minnesota, Presidential Candidate, Newspaper Editor. Andrew Ryan McGill, 10th Governor of Minnesota, Newspaper Editor, State Senator. James M. McPherson, Civil War historian and author. Steve Niels, football player for the St. Louis Cardinals. Milt Nielsen, baseball player for the Cleveland Indians. Alan Quist, former state representative and gubernatorial candidate. Benjamin H. Randall, politician. Rick Rude, professional wrestler. Myers Coog, inventor of the jump shot. Henry A. Swift, 3rd Governor of Minnesota, Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, State Senator. John H. Tolan, politician and lawyer. Earl Witt, football player for the Green Bay Packers.